What's up, hungry people? Let's talk turkey. Today, we're making Friendsgiving meatloaf. It's an entire turkey dinner stuffed into a convenient sliceable form. If you're too lazy to cook an entire Thanksgiving meal, then this recipe is for you. Topped with an addictive cranberry barbecue sauce, Thanksgiving dinner just got a delicious millennial makeover. First, we'll start with some butter to begin caramelizing the onions. You want the onions to be softened but still opaque. Next up, let's toss in some carrots and celery to complete the mirepoix. When the carrots are tender, then we'll add in some minced garlic and get that cooking until the garlic is fragrantly wafting into your nose holes. Then we'll add more aromatic herbs like rosemary, oregano, and thyme, and then season it up with some salt and pepper. Saute the herbs and veggies until everything is nice and tender. You'll know it's ready when the celery sort of brightens up in color. We'll go ahead and set the veggies aside for now until they're no longer steaming hot. Then we'll grab our ground turkey meat and add the cooled veggies to the bowl along with an egg and some whole milk. I have this Neato meat spatula that's made specifically for combining and crumbling ground meat. I'll leave a link in the description for where you can grab your own or as a gift for your favorite foodie. It's a unique tool that I actually use pretty frequently. Once the meat and veggies are combined, it's time to toss in the rest of dinner. We've got dried stuffing cubes, whole cranberries, mashed potatoes, and gravy. And you know what? Fuck it. Let's just throw a whole roll in there along with some melted table butter. This is Thanksgiving dinner after all. Then we're gonna mash it all together. The great thing about using the dinner roll and stuffing mix is that it absorbs all of the excess liquid from the milk and turkey juices. Usually in a typical meatloaf, you'll use bread and breadcrumbs, so swapping those out for stuffing mix and dinner rolls really drives home the Thanksgiving flavors. Then we're going to transfer the mixture into a glass loaf pan and spread it out on top so that the top is nice and flat and tucked into the sides. I'm going to let the meatloaf rest and develop its flavors while I make the sweet and tangy jalapeno cranberry barbecue sauce topping. Let's start with some evu and then toss in whole fresh cranberries. After a few minutes, the cranberry skin will start to crackle and pop, and the berries will begin to soften. Next, we'll add a dash of jalapenos and a pinch of shallot. And then we'll give it a good stir before adding in tomato paste and whole grain mustard to really add some depth to the barbecue flavor. Basically, we're going to start building up our base layer flavor profile to the barbecue sauce. Next, we'll pour in a splash of soy sauce and some apple cider vinegar. The vinegar will actually help to deglaze the bottom of the pot a bit. One of my favorite secret ingredients that I like to add to barbecue sauce is balsamic vinegar. And then we'll add some brown sugar to really make things sticky icky. Followed by some red wine vinegar, melted honey, and just a dash of cinnamon to really round out the flavors and add a touch of holiday cheer. Let the sauce simmer for a few minutes before adding in the ketchup. This will help to thicken the sauce and add some umami flavor. Stir it all together again. At this point, we've developed a really great sweet and savory base sauce. To really highlight the cranberry flavor, we can add orange zest, orange juice, and a splash of lemon juice. These flavors, when combined, create a wonderful sweet and tangy barbecue sauce with just a flare of heat at the very end. We'll need to let our barbecue sauce thicken for at least 30 minutes to an hour. I left mine on a medium-low temperature, uncovered, and stirred it every 15-20 minutes to make sure that nothing was burning. After about 45 minutes, the sauce should have thickened up substantially to the point where it is sticking in globs to the spoon. You'll know it's ready to go when you can stir and leave streaks across the bottom of the pot. When the spoon starts leaving trails, you'll know the sauce is ready to go. I carefully transferred my barbecue sauce to a mason jar and let it cool off for about an hour. You don't have to transfer it to a jar necessarily, but it does make it convenient for pouring and storing any leftover sauce. We'll pour about a half a cup of the barbecue sauce over the Thanksgiving meatloaf. And then use a spatula to spread it out into an even layer that covers the turkey loaf all the way to the edges. I covered my Thanksgiving meatloaf lightly with foil and cooked it at 425 for about 30 minutes, and then I removed the foil and continued cooking for another 30 to 45 minutes until the internal temperature of the meatloaf reached 160 degrees. The secret to the perfect meatloaf, and this applies to pretty much any meatloaf recipe, is to not serve it the same day that you cook it. It'll have better flavor and slice more easily if you let it cool completely first. I went as far to cool mine completely, and then I chilled it overnight before reheating it the next day at 350 degrees for about 15 minutes the next night for dinner. You don't have to wait overnight though, but you should definitely wait at least 30 minutes before cutting the meatloaf into slices. No matter which way you decide to go when it comes to finishing off the meatloaf, be sure to garnish it with parsley to really impress your Friendsgiving guests. Because nothing says I totally have my life together like a sprinkle of fresh parsley. Thanksgiving is like my personal foodie Super Bowl, and I especially love putting my own twist on traditional holiday favorites. I'd love some ideas for how I can combine more festive dishes into something completely different and new. Leave your suggestions for holiday mashups in the comments below. And thanks to everyone who subscribes to my channel, we've officially passed 1,000 hungry people in our kitchen. I am so excited to grow on this level as I enter my 5th year of blogging in 2020. As always, you can find this recipe and many others with step-by-step instructions on thestarvingchefblog.com. I'm currently totally redoing my entire blog, so my posting schedule may be off for the next few weeks, and the video schedule may or may not change in 2020. Either way, big things are coming to my channel, so be sure to flip that sub button and ring the dinner bell so you're the first to know when I post my latest recipes and foodie adventures that I post every week. I hope you all enjoyed, and have a happy Thanksgiving.